Hello, Leon Turner of Trend Controls here. Adding another video. This one is going to be all about sending times, occupation times, down from IQVISION to controllers. In this case, IQ5 controllers, although the process is broadly similar for IQ3, 2, 1, etc., etc. In this particular instance, we'll be using IQVISION as the master time schedule holder. So all adjustments for this site will be done through IQVISION, probably through the web pages in IQVISION. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to assume there is no local time zone adjustment from a display panel or the web pages in the controller or anything like that, because that adds a different element, which I will cover in a different video, because that way we have to read in schedules from the controller in order to ensure that we're dealing with the latest information. Using IQVISION as a master means it just sends the controller the times and holiday dates, etc., and doesn't have to worry about whether there's been other times fed in from outside. So what I've got, I have a couple of controllers here in the workshop, an IQ5 and another IQ5 as it happens. There's some points in both. I've got them linked up, so there's a little graphic to show you. I've got a driver in one, two drivers in the other. They are linked to schedules. If I just pop this up on the screen, you can kind of see that's how one looks. And that is how the other one looks. So this one is just basically sending on, or well, 0 and 100% actually, through to a driver for turning the lights on and off. And this one is using a schedule module. An offset, a schedule offset module, or two of them, to bring those time zones on at different times. I will explain exactly what I'm doing with those. Now, you can see there's 3 time zones, one in one controller, 2 in another. I'll be driving all of those from exactly the same master time scheduler in Niagara in IQVISION. I could use separate schedules if I wanted to, if they were radically different, but I'm going to assume everything on the site sort of runs to approximately the same time, and I will use the schedule offset modules to make any fine adjustments I need to. So these zones, I'm going to treat them, they have got times in them here, but I am going to effectively treat them as being just an empty zone that I can send times to. To that end, as you can see on the wire sheet here, I have a Boolean schedule taken from the schedule palette, just a blank one, and it says master on it. I've also put 2 calendar schedule modules in here, one for off days, one for on days, and that will be when they're fully off and fully on. And again, I'll explain those in a bit. So I go to the master schedule. No surprise, I've set it up 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. throughout the week, just for clarity. I've got no special events set up, etc. So at the moment, this is all very much as you would expect. Nothing particularly exciting about any of this. Now, when I bring in the schedules for the controllers, so at the moment I've got nothing in on this one. If I hit the discovery, that is my schedule. Now, there are 2 tabs here. We've got Trend Schedule Import Manager and Trend Schedule Export Manager. Now, I'm going to be exporting times from IQVISION down to the controllers. I'm not going to require to import them because, as I say, there is no local control over these. So I'm going to flip the tab to export because I only ever want to export. I'll bring that in. Now, you'll see here we've got a name, item type, and so on. And most of this is not really to be fiddled with too much. The only thing I'm going to say is I want it to go on an interval. Now, I'm going to set this to be ridiculously short intervals. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this so that my demonstration doesn't take hours and hours for it to process. Now, I've left one field blank quite specifically for now. So if I go yes, now you'll see in here we get a time schedule and a retry trigger. The retry trigger just means if it fails, it's how often it goes to try it again. And on the time schedule, I've got some views and actions. Now, in order to link these times down to that schedule, what I will do is copy the ord from the master one, and I'm going to put it in here. Now, obviously, I could have done that on the first the first screen, but I didn't. So save and refresh. There we go. So it's all good. It's happy with that. And if I really want to, it's just done it anyway. I can go up there, go actions and execute. You'll notice it sends that down. Last success 12:13. Sorry, 12:14. So that is now, it's just gone. So if I get the master back up again to show you, that will have ended up in the controller. Now I should be able to have a quick look at the controller's web page, which I think is this one. Go to schedules. Just to prove the point, and I should be able to see the normal week. There we go. And to prove they're linked, if I just go back here, and it's Friday today, so I'll take that back, so it should be off, and I'll put another one in just to make it pretty. Right, so that's saved. Now it would automatically update, but I'm going to send it manually anyway, just so we're not waiting around. And if I refresh that, you'll see instantly it's gone to here. So the time zones in the controller are following this master schedule in the web page. Sorry, in Niagara. If I go and look at my other controller, I did already link these, and you'll see both of those time zones are following exactly what I've just done. And if we go to my fantastically simple web page and take this one out and save it, as I say, it should go fairly rapidly because I put it to quite a silly interval. So there you go, it's turn the lights off. The other one is on a slightly longer interval. I did already configure that one. So if I look, I can send those down now. Now this is where my demonstration is going to lag behind a little bit, because if you see here, these schedule modules will slow up the interaction somewhat. There we go, they've actually caught up again. Now, the reason there was a slight delay is if I go back to these schedule offset modules, one is basically starting a minute after the time profile begins, so it will delay on for 1 minute, and it will come on. It will go off 1 minute before the scheduled time goes off. So if I was to wait around, you'd have a gap, a separation in these, and the other one comes on 2 minutes before. 2 minutes after the start time, and 5 minutes. It goes off 5 minutes after the stop time. Again, a bit difficult to actually demonstrate that very easily, because we'll be waiting forever on the video. I'm just going to make these quicker. So I've got them as 30 seconds. I'll take them down again to something ridiculous. And I wouldn't recommend this at all, really. Because it's going to be sending them quite often. But just for the purposes of demonstration, it does sort of help. Now, again, you're going to have to trust me that when I turn this back on, the view, my boilers, and lights and so on, will follow on. Now, you can obviously see these haven't come on, whereas that one has. So there'll be a delay of a minute, I believe, in one case, and 5 minutes in another. So we won't see these come on for a little while yet, because those schedule modules will delay the on time like that. So you can see that's on, and they've actually come on now. So what I'm going to do next is add in some special days to my scheduling. If I go back to my Wiresheet view here, put it in a new tab. You can see I've got these calendar schedules, as I mentioned earlier. So off days, I've added one already, Bank Holiday Monday and Christmas. One is a date range, so you can see 24th of December through to 2nd of Jan on any 1 year. And I've also put in a slightly more complicated one. Any day in May, the first Monday in May is a bank holiday. Now I've made that up, but you can see there's quite a combination you can use to get to any day. The other one here, on days, slightly different. I've put today in because it makes it easy for me to demonstrate. And any Wednesday, the second Wednesday in June as a specific date. Hopefully that gives you some idea of specifics and how to do it. And these are given a name in each instance. The way they're treated in the excuse me, in the master schedule is we go to special events and we can add these in. Now you can add in as many or as few as you like. You could add it into certain schedules and not in others. You can change the name. So I'm going to put in the off all day one, and it is a reference, and it is that one, off days. So you can see this is my calendar. Now what that'll do is it will just put in the dates that I've already coded in to my normal running, and I'm going to leave that off. Now if I add the other one, so again it's a reference on all day. It doesn't have to be, obviously, it could be anything you particularly want to call it. And for on all day, I'm going to do exactly what you think and put it on all day and save it. Now what that will do is override whatever is in the schedule. So again, for Friday, because it's today, I'm going to delete that there and save it. So Friday should be empty now. And if I go and write that in, sorry, it will write in quite quickly, so I'll leave it. Now, if we go to the web page in the controller, assuming it's still alive, if I go to normal week, you'll see Friday is empty, gone. And the same on the other controller, I suspect, as well. There we go, Friday is empty. But if I look, the time zone is actually on, and that is because the exception has gone down. On all day is overriding the time schedule telling it to be off. And again, we can put as many or as few of these in as we like. It's quite a neat way to do it. And it will be the same on this other schedule here. If I go to exceptions, it's added them both. And there we go. That part is quite quick and easy. And again, if we look at the value on here, the zone is on. Ignore what's in here because it's out of date. But there we go. So the schedules have both come on, despite the fact that today is supposed to be off otherwise. So that is a very brief overview of how to get schedules down into those controllers from one place, from this master view. Hopefully that's been fairly useful. I've tried to keep it as brief as I possibly can. There are other things in here like the OSS modules and so on. This is all detailed in the manual, of course, are rather excellent manuals. So please feel free to go and refer to those if you have an hour spare or so. And once again, thank you for listening. Hope this has been helpful, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.